Hello, welcome back to BSLIVE. In this episode, I want to share how I created this creations. It's basically kind of like an art project. It's very metaphorical, so as you can see, like there are a bunch of 3D text, and it says blend, and it's just simply dropped, and you get this like water simulations. So the idea is actually using geometry nodes to generate 3D mesh, or kind of like sourcing 3D mesh. Maybe one day I can source it from Sketchfab, and then I simply drop it like a liquid. So it's a quite an interesting art, I guess. So I'm using Blender 3.0 official, so it's no longer beta or alpha, and also I'm using FlipFluids. So FlipFluids is a paid add-on. You can use Blender's own liquid, which is Manta, I think Manta Ray, but I've been using FlipFluid for a while, so it's a paid add-on. Again, it's now version 1.2.1, and it's working really well for me. So this is what I'm using. So what's going on here? Let me explain. Basically, we have a FlipFluid domain, which is currently set up to resolutions 80. I can increase the resolutions, but I think 80 is pretty good for kind of art project. So I have this simulation that's already calculated. I have text that's being generated using geometry nodes, and the text is, it's really simple. I can randomize the rotations and positions slightly within the boundary using the seed. I can increase the count. I can scale the text a little bit. I can change the text into anything. So now it says 1, 2, 3, and I just reset the bake. And it's actually with FlipFluid, when it's calculating, you can already run the simulations. And well, doesn't seem to work. I think sometimes with the text objects, we need to flip or reverse the curve. I think that might be it, or I just need to recalculate. Anyway, it's working now. Yeah, okay, this time if I hide everything and just look at the chocolate looking text, it drops into liquid. What would be nice with a real like art physical, if this is a physical fluid, when it falls down, it should make a sound, right? Just like a splashing sound. I probably just play like a recorded audio, but it would be nice to, if this is actually generating an actual sound in real time. I think that's also possible, but I just don't have the tools or knowledge to do that for now. Okay, we can actually just replace it with anything. Dream, for example, just write it in lowercase. Let's see how it goes now. So it's letter dreams. While it's calculating, let me explain the actual geometry nodes. So this is just a simple geometry with nothing inside it, just description of nodes. I started with the text, right? The string input is coming from user. It's currently making the word dream. So it goes inside, and I just need to resample the text and then realize instances and then just extrude it using this method. And then the next thing I did was to instance it randomly using random value, so it's instanced within the boundary, and then set the position and just basically randomize it. And then I have scale coming from user input coming into the instance, and then also I just instance it on the points, and then I rotate it randomly, and then randomly scale it and just realize instances. So FlipFluid can take over and then turning it into fluid object. So it's really pretty simple. So in the end, we have something like this. It's like this art project, just melting anything that you put into it. So it's becoming just like a splash. What what could improve this? So currently it's using the material, chocolate material from FlipFluid library presets. There are all kind of different materials that you can choose. It all comes with FlipFluid, so which is kind of nice. Let me check fluid surface. Where's the add-on? Okay, this is FlipFluid simulations options, the whole options, and this is just the tab. With these options we have choices of surfaces, chocolate milk, orange juice. I can turn it into blood, which is like, so now I can pick blood material. I can actually turn it into pink blood, or purple. When you render this out using cycles, it's gonna look more realistic, but we need to perhaps turn off the domain. It's more like milk in this case. But what's the nice thing about FlipFluid is that it's turning any geometry into fluid, right? I don't just need, I can use something like a cylinder, for example, instead of text. Plug it into the instance, reduce this size, and yeah. So now we have like bar of chocolate, reset the bake, and yep, it should be calculating. Yeah, we have something like this. This is, it says blood, it's using transmission. Okay, maybe I need to turn on the, with EV I turn on the ambient occlusions and screen space reflections. It should be reflecting. Yeah, just increase it to the maximum. Now we have something that's more like a liquid with transparency. Like a jelly. So anyway, it's gonna calculate and simulate again within the domains of the box. So nothing super fancy here, but yeah, but I think I like looking at fluids, and especially in this case because our fluid is of course geometry nodes, we can randomize and change the contents back to our text. We can replace this with omega. So alpha and omega, just kind of dilute it into this kind of like a water simulations. Yeah, basically FlipFluid is actually voxelizing the geometry nodes. It creates the inside and turning it into fluid. So I think this is something that geometry nodes or Blender doesn't have it yet. Actually Blender have it as a manta ray. It's so I think it's quite possible to use this and then create your own setup using Blender's own simulations. I haven't touched manta ray for a while, so there's this fluid. I could try, but it might take a while. Anyway, let's try. Let's save this. File new. This guy, which is still geometry nodes, I can apply this, turning it into real objects now. Turn off FlipFluid. We have this. yeah, we can turn this into fluid type of flow. You need to have domain. This might actually now we have like a volume, domain of gas or liquid. We like to be liquid. Simulation FlipFluid. This is the cache, viscosity, diffusion, and simply run the simulations. Where's the simulation control? Yeah, I think it's a little bit harder to work with compared to FlipFluid. Oh well, maybe I shouldn't show you this. Don't worry about that. Get rid of fluid. So with FlipFluid, you can create domain and then turn this guy into fluid object. Simply bake. Unable to create cache directory. Oh, we need to create cache. We need to save the blend and then just bake. So it's a lot simpler using FlipFluid. Now we have our simulations back. Yeah, I think overall it's pretty interesting setup. So again, FlipFluid have preset of material. It's turning this into beer. Oops. Oh yeah, water is nice. Clean water. How precious is clean water? Yeah, just so yeah, that's basically the setup. So geometry nodes can be used with FlipFluid and it's pretty easy and stable. And that's my art project that I shared with you. Hopefully you find this useful. Thanks again for tuning in and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.